The metal crate slammed down with a heavy thud, and Do-hyun wiped the sweat from his forehead. Another day, another 100 containers to move across the loading dock of Helix 7. The massive space station hummed with activity all around him. Merchants shouted in a dozen different languages. Ships docked and undocked with mechanical precision. Somewhere in the distance, a child laughed. Do-hyun had been working at this spaceport for 3 years now. It was simple work, honest work, the kind of work that didn't ask questions about your past or why a former soldier was hauling freight at the edge of known space. He liked it that way. After everything that happened with the military, all he wanted was to disappear into the background noise of the universe. He grabbed the next container and activated his loader harness. The hydraulics hissed as they took the weight. He was halfway to the transport shuttle when the first explosion hit. The blast wave knocked him off his feet. His ears rang with a high-pitched whine that drowned out everything else. Smoke billowed from the civilian sector, thick and black. Then came the screaming. Do-hyun scrambled to his feet, military instincts taking over. His eyes swept the chaos. People ran in every direction, trampling each other in panic. Another explosion ripped through a nearby restaurant. Fire bloomed against the metal walls. The air tasted like burning plastic and fear. That was when he saw her. A small child stood frozen in the middle of the loading bay. Her skin shimmered with an iridescent blue color that marked her as Vryn, one of the alien species that had recently begun peace talks with humanity. She couldn't have been more than 6 years old. Her large amber eyes were wide with terror, tears streaming down her face. "Mama!" she cried out, but her voice was lost in the chaos. Do-hyun didn't think. His feet were moving before his brain caught up. He ran toward her as a third explosion shook the entire station. The lights flickered. Support beams groaned under stress. He was 10 meters away when he saw the ceiling start to collapse. The massive structural beam came down like the hand of an angry god. The child looked up, still frozen, unable to move. Do-hyun pushed his legs harder, lungs burning. 5 meters. 3 meters. He dove. His body slammed into hers, wrapping around her small frame as they tumbled. He twisted in midair, putting his back between her and the falling debris. The beam hit him with crushing force. Pain exploded across his shoulders and spine. He felt something crack. Definitely ribs. Maybe vertebrae. He didn't let go. More debris rained down. Sharp metal shrapnel tore through his work clothes, biting into his flesh. Something hot burned across his left arm. The child whimpered beneath him, and he pulled her closer, making himself smaller, making his body a better shield. "It's okay," he gasped in broken Vryn tongue, one of the few phrases he'd picked up working the docks. "Safe, you're safe." A chunk of burning composite material landed on his back. The pain was incredible, white-hot and all-consuming. His vision started to gray at the edges, but he could feel the child's heartbeat against his chest, fast but steady. She was alive. That was all that mattered. The explosions continued. 4, 5, 6. Each one sent new showers of debris falling. Do-hyun's world narrowed to a simple equation. Keep breathing, keep covering, keep the child safe. His training from years ago surfaced through the pain. Protect the civilian. Complete the mission. Don't let anyone else die because of your failure. Not again. Time became meaningless. Seconds felt like hours. He might have blacked out. He wasn't sure. All he knew was the weight on his back, the heat, the pain, and the small body he refused to release. Finally, voices cut through the chaos. Human voices. Vryn voices. "Emergency responders, over here. I've got survivors." Hands grabbed at him, trying to lift the debris. Do-hyun wanted to help, but his body wouldn't cooperate. His arms felt like dead weight. His back screamed in agony. "Sir, we need you to let go of the child. Let go." No, not until he knew she was safe. Not until he was sure. "Sir, please. We need to treat your injuries." A different voice then, speaking in Vryn. Urgent. Desperate. Female. Isul. "Oh gods, Isul." The child stirred beneath him. "Mama?" The word cut through Do-hyun's failing consciousness. "Mama." Good. The mother was here. The child would be okay now. He forced his arms to loosen, though every muscle fought against it. Gentle hands pulled the child away from him. He heard her crying, calling out, but the sounds grew distant. Someone rolled him onto a stretcher. More hands prodded at his injuries. Someone said something about extensive trauma and immediate surgery. Through his blurring vision, he saw her. A Vryn woman. tall and elegant even in her panic, held the small child against her chest. The child was crying but appeared unharmed. Not a scratch on her. The woman's eyes, the same amber color as the child's, found his across the chaos. She stared at him with an expression he couldn't read. Shock, disbelief. Something else. Something deeper. The child reached out toward him, her small blue hand stretching across the distance. Don't go. Don't go. The mother held her daughter tight but didn't look away from Do-Hyun. She said something in Vrin, too fast for his damaged brain to translate. Then the emergency responders were lifting his stretcher, rushing him toward the medical bay, and he lost sight of them both. His last conscious thought was simple and clear. The child was safe. He had done it. This time he had saved someone. Then the darkness took him, and Do-Hyun knew nothing at all. Somewhere behind him, in the smoke and chaos of Helix 7's worst terrorist attack, a Vrin diplomat named Myung held her daughter close and watched the human who had sacrificed everything for a child he didn't know. Her hands trembled. Her world had just shifted on its axis. Everything she thought she knew about humans had just been challenged by one man's impossible act of courage, and she knew, with absolute certainty, that she could never let him simply fade away.